We will be continuing our Word 2016 course, starting with the Word 2016 Help feature. In Word 2016, you can easily take advantage of its Help feature by clicking on the last tab of the ribbon called the Tell Me tab. Here you see a light bulb icon and the words Tell me what you want to do. Click here and you see the examples it gives. Leave a comment, change how table looks, edit header. Let's type in change margins. And as we type, we see that the drop-down menu lists different items. After typing change margins, you see the options highlighted which you can select from are adjust margins, change case, get help on change margins, and you can see that you also have an option for smart lookup on change margins, which we will go over. Let's click on Adjust Margins from the drop-down. We get the Adjust Margins options menu that is found on the Page Layout tab. By using the Help feature, we're able to access functions by just telling Word in the Tell Me tab what we want to do. Click on the Get Help on Change Margins, the drop-down menu where you see the question mark. The Word 2016 Help window opens up with topics on the subject Change Margins, which are available in the Help feature. Notice that there is a blue question mark with a circle now in the taskbar. This is the Word 2016 Help window icon task we just opened. Scroll down in the Word Help window and you see that there are 43 help topics on the subject margins, and you can scroll through and select one of them by clicking on the topic to read about it. Let's scroll back to the top of the topics in this window and click on the one where it says change the margins between text and the edge of a text box. You see here that you get step-by-step instructions on this topic. You can scroll down and read and review the instructions for help. At the top of the Word 2016 Help window, you see arrows pointing left and right to move back and forward in the screens displayed. You also see a house icon here. Click it and you get the top categories in the Word 2016 Help feature. By clicking on the plus sign to the left of a category, you can expand it to see a list of its sections. Let's click the plus sign on Add Header and Footers. And here we see the different topics under Add Headers and Footers. Click on Add Images to a Header or Footer. Now you see the step-by-step instructions for adding images to a header or footer. Using the printer icon at the top of the Help window, you can send a copy of the help instructions to a printer. Also, there is an icon here, the letter A icon at the top, and this icon adjusts the size of the type of the display of the topics. There is one other very useful feature in the Word 2016 Help tab. Let's go back to the Try Me tab at the top again, where we see the light bulb, and click, and type in Change Margins again. At the bottom of the drop-down, we see a magnifying glass icon where it says Smart Lookup On and Change Margins in quotes. Let's click here. When we click here, to the right, you see that we get the Smart Lookup pane, giving us the options to explore online using Wikipedia or view the top search results from the web on the topic in our web browser. By clicking on the Explore Wikipedia option, you will get the Wikipedia page on the terms we typed in the Tell Me tab, as you see here. To return to our Word document, we just click the Word icon on the taskbar and you see the window is back on top. By clicking on an item in the web top search results in the Help window, you will be taken to the web page for that search listing. You can see the web address of the web page you'll be going to before you click, here, right underneath the title. Let's click an item in the top web search results, and you see that we are automatically taken to that web page using our internet browser. When ready to return to Word, we just click on the Word icon on the taskbar. In the Word 2016 Help Smart Lookup pane, you can see that we also have an option, Define, that will give us definitions from the Oxford Press on the terms entered in the Tell Me tab when we click on it, as you see here. So, you can use the Word 2016 Help feature to assist you in several ways. It's very useful. Let's click the X to the right at the top of the Word Help window to close it and continue learning about the Word 2016 environment. Rulers. Just below the ribbon and before the text area begins, you see here the horizontal ruler, which shows in inches the width of the page in the text area. On the ruler, you can see the increments in width in half and quarter inches. You can also tell where the margin settings are left and right if you take note here, because they are highlighted darker while the areas within the margins are in white. All the way to the left of the text area, from just below the ribbon all the way down to the bottom as you see here, is the vertical ruler, which shows in inches the length of the page in the text area. Also on this ruler, you can see the increments in width in half and quarter inches. You can also tell where the top and bottom margin settings are by noticing here they are highlighted darker, while the areas within the margins are in white. Tab alignment. Above the vertical ruler, on the same line as the horizontal ruler, as you see here all the way to the left, is an icon called the Tab Selector. The Tab Selector, when clicked, sets what kind of tab is set in the horizontal ruler when the pointer is clicked on it. The icon is presently, as you can see, showing a left tab setting, so if you click in the ruler at this point, it will put a left tab in the ruler. Let's demonstrate. Click inside the horizontal ruler, anywhere. You see that you have a left tab indication in the ruler. Try it again. Click on the Tab Selector again. You see a different type of tab indicated. This is a center tab. Click now inside the ruler again, and as you see, you get the center tab in the position you click. So you can select here on the Tab Selector what type of tab or indent you want, and then click inside the ruler to set it. Status bar. Let's look all the way down to the bottom of our Word window, where it says Page and Words, and an icon which indicates the proofing status of the document if it has any errors. This area is our status bar. It tells us what page of the document is currently displayed in the text area on the screen, as well as the total number of pages in the document. The status bar also tells us how many words are in the document and any process that may be occurring in the document, constantly updating, alerting us of the status of the document. View options. At the bottom of the Word window to the right, we have, as you see here, what we call the View Options area. Here we have 3 options to choose from for how we would like the document to be displayed in the document text area. Here you see the current view setting highlighted among the options. The current view setting is the most common option used in Word and is generally where we do our drafting, editing, and formatting of our document. This view option setting is called Print Layout, and it displays our document in our text area as it would look printed on a printer, but on the screen, giving us a pretty much what you see is what you get effect. That's why it's called the Print Layout view option. Another option on the View Options bar is the Reading option, and clicking it allows for an easy reading layout of the document on the screen, larger print and more spacious for reading from the screen purposes. The last view option we have available to choose from is the Web Layout view, and by clicking on the icon, it displays the document in the text area as it would be displayed on the web by a web browser, such as Internet Explorer or Google Chrome, as a web page. Zoom. At the bottom right of our Word window, we see a plus and a minus sign in between a slide scale with a number followed by a percent sign. This is our Zoom View Scale slider. This area gives us the option to use the plus or minus sign to display on our screen in the text area the current document larger or smaller by percentages. Optionally, we can click on the little sliding bar in between the plus and minus signs, hold it, and drag our mouse left or right to zoom in or zoom out. Zoom only changes our view of the document on the screen and doesn't affect the printing of the document. Scroll bars. Before we go on to tell you about the File tab and the Backstage view of the document, we will conclude our introduction to the Word environment with the vertical scroll bar all the way to the right, as you see here, which is sometimes not visible if your document layout or size doesn't need it. By moving your pointer to the scroll bar area, it will display. You also, if necessary, will have horizontal scroll bars at the bottom, as I'll demonstrate. Although this blank document in a fully maximized window needs no horizontal bars to scroll, when I resize it, it does, as you see here. Show the horizontal scroll bars at the bottom of the Word window to allow scrolling left or right to view the text area, which may be larger than the window it is displayed in. So, the Word environment summary: above at the top, below at the bottom, to the left and to the right, the various areas surrounding the text area, we have the various elements which comprise the Word environment, which you will be using to work with your documents. The File tab and the Backstage View. As you know, tabs group related functions together. Let's look at the File tab. Click the File tab. When we click the File tab, we get what is called the Backstage view of our document, referred to often as where we do everything we do to a document that we don't do in the document, meaning basically manage files, create, save, print, and view documents, as well as review and set document properties. If you recall, when we began this segment of the course and started Word, I said that on the Open Document screen you have two panels, one on the left, which was in blue, and the other on the right, which was in gray, where we clicked on Blank Document to start learning about the Word environment. The Backstage view of the File menu is composed of two panels as well. The panel on the left, like before, is blue, but it is important to note the difference here. On the right panel of the File menu, it will sometimes have what we call two panes, meaning the right side or panel may be itself divided into two parts or sides called panes. The panel you see to the left in blue lists the available File menu options, as you see here, such as Info, New, Open, Save, History, Export, Print, and others. The panel on the right, which sometimes may have two panes, will always on the left side have additional options or functions we can perform associated with menu items highlighted or selected on the left panel, as you see here. For instance, here we see Info highlighted on the left panel. On the right panel, on the left side, the left pane, where you see the word Info, we get options to set properties for our document, such as Protect, Inspect, or Manage. Now, note this. If there is a second pane on the right panel, and in some instances there is only one, the second pane will always be additional information concerning our document or preview of our document. In the next lesson, we will learn more about working with files and using the various options on the File menu. But before we close our document, let's take a look at its properties quickly and the various information we see and features we have in the Backstage view of the Info option. Under the Info option, if you click it from the left panel, where you see the File tab menu options, you see that you have several options displayed on the right panel on the left side, in which you can use to mark the document as final, encrypt it with a password, restrict its editing, or add an invisible digital signature for integrity. You can click the Check for Issues button and take a look at the options there. Also, if you click under Manage Document in the Info pane, you get the option to instruct Word to recover an unsaved document. You can see that the Info menu option has two panes. It is instructed earlier, displaying additional information concerning the document. Take a look as you can see various detailed information about the document. You see document properties such as size, pages, words, total editing time, title, etc. You can see a set of related dates concerning the document and related people. And if you click below where it says Show All Properties, you can see here that you get even more information regarding the document on the right pane under Properties. Let's take a look at the View and Print options of our document by clicking the Print option on the left panel of the Backstage View of the File tab. When we click here, we see that on the right panel, we have two panes. As stated, the left side of a right panel, which sometimes has two panes, will always give you more options for the menu item you have selected on the left panel. And if there is more than one pane on the right panel, the pane on the right side, as is in the Print panel, as you see here, is further information concerning your document, or in this case, a print preview of the document. You can see on the left pane the different print options for the document. Now that we are familiar with the word environment, let's click on the arrow at the top of the screen in the left panel where the options of the file menu are on the blue side to return to our blank document. You can see that we are now back in the word environment where our blank document is in the text area. In the next segment of the course, we will learn more about creating documents and working with files. This concludes this segment of the course. Welcome to the word environment.